To cement the newly gained knowledge, create an orange using primitives and deformers. I'll use a sphere as a basis. In the sphere, set the hexahedron segmentation so that it consists only of squares. Let's add more subdivisions. We'll also add it to the subdivision surface. You'll shortly understand why. In extreme cases, it can be turned off. Let's add a displacer deformer to create an orange peel effect. Group these objects and name them. Go to the displacer and add noise to shading. Now let's set it up. Let's make the global scale parameter smaller and use the sliders to customize its appearance. To make the effect more visible, turn off the Gouraud shading lines. Since we have a lot of polygons, to enhance the effect, add a subdivision surface below the subdivisions in the generator. In my opinion, this is the most optimal value. For now, I'll turn off subdivision surface. Now let's make a twig for the orange using the cylinder. We adjust its size and position it. Also, create a fillet. You can do it with caps or using bevel deformer. By selecting the cylinder and clicking the deformer holding down Alt, it is automatically added as a child of the object. Next, add the deformer taper. Also click on it with Alt. And we do this kind of expansion at the top of the object. The only thing is that bevel has to be under taper for them to work correctly. Next, add a deformer shear. Place it at the bottom and offset the branch a little so that the top is slightly tilted. Now add bend. We also move it to the bottom so that it affects all the deformers and bends the branch a little. You can turn off the visibility of deformers so that they do not confuse you. Now let's create a leaf for the orange. I'll use a plane to do it. Adjust its size and segmentation. Add plane to subdivision surface to round it. Now using the FFD deformer, we will adjust the shape of the leaf. Group these objects so that the FFD applied to subdivision surface. Now let's set up the container, since fit to parent doesn't work on generators. In the point editing mode, adjust the shape of the leaf. But we need more subdivisions for the FFD. Now let's set the thickness. For this, we need a cloth surface generator. We add this null object to the generator. Remove subdivision and add thickness. We place this object in a group to apply the new deformer. I'll call this group leaf and add the bevel deformer. We place it and set it up. Add subdivision to make the shape more rounded. Super. Next, we add the band deformer. We'll use it to bend the leaf. Place it under the bevel and set up the container. We use keep length so as not to stretch the leaf. As you can see now, it bends too sharply. Even if we add subdivisions, it won't help us. In this case, you need to reconfigure the bend deformer container. We can twist the leaf a little with the twist deformer. Disable visibility and deformers so that they don't get in the way. Turn on the rest of the objects. Now place the leaf next to the branch. We are missing one more deformer to bend the leaf. Duplicate the band and customize it. Next, using the cloner, create the droplets on the orange and the leaf. Create a cloner, a small sphere, and adjust its size. In Cloner, select Object Mode and place the base orange shape in it. And add a small sphere to the cloner. Turn on Subdivision Surface. Note that it is the subdivision surface object that needs to be placed in the cloner, since the trick does not work with the null object. Adjust the size of the small spheres. Now we set up the cloner. Add the Push Apart effector to the cloner. I'll name it Scale Apart, and choose the appropriate mode. Let's adjust the radius of the effector. Let's add the same effect to the leaves. Duplicate the cloner, name it Cloner Leaf. Add the leaf object to the object parameter, and you're done. Reduce the number of clones. Now there are too many of them for the leaf. Excellent. The orange is ready. Group up all the objects and name the group Orange. Super. Next, let's create an avocado. Select the sphere again and set the hexahedron segmentation. Next, add the FFD deformer. Apply Fit to Parent and customize the avocado shape. To do this, go to the Point Editing mode and in the front view, begin to edit the shape. I select the top points and move them up. Now I will reduce them. I choose the Scale tool. And in order for the tool to scale evenly along all axes, I hold down the left mouse button in an empty space and scale the object to the size I need. In the same way, I select the bottom points and adjust the shape of the object. Next, add this object to the subdivision surface. Next, we need to cut it in half. Let's do it using the bool generator. First, we place the object in a group. Create a cube, adjust its dimensions. We set it so that it cuts off exactly half of the avocado. Create a bool generator and add objects to it. Perfect. We've cut off the half. Now we need to cut out the inner part. For this, we will use bool again. Group the object again. Create a sphere that will be the pit. Cut out a dip for it at the bottom of the object. For the sphere, set the type to hexahedron. Let's make it a bit smaller. Set it up. Next, create a bool, add a sphere and a null object to it. And so the dip for the pit is ready, but I want to change it a little. I will add the FFD deformer and make the shape a little elongated. Duplicate the sphere object. It will be the pit. Move it out with the null object, and round the edges of the avocado using the bevel deformer. Set up the bevel. Nothing happens because for the bool object you need to tick the checkbox in the Create Single Object parameter. We now have artifacts in the mesh. I will remove the bevel for now. We see how close these edges are to each other. Due to this, the artifact appeared. I'll move aside the cube, which cuts off half of the avocado model, thus increasing the distance between these faces. Next, add a bevel, move into a null object, and everything works as it should. In order to round off the shape of the pit, add subdivisions in the spheres. Perfect. One half of the avocado is ready. Now let's group the objects, make a copy, and remove the pit from it. And somehow arbitrarily place this object. Add these objects to one group and name it avocado. Now let's create a raspberry. We'll also use a sphere as the basis. Select the hexahedron type and add the taper generator to define the shape. This is the basic shape. Small particles of the berry will be created along it using the cloner. So the shape is ready. Then let's create a small sphere. Create a cloner and place this sphere in it. In Cloner, select Object Mode and add a basic shape. In the Distribution parameter, set the location of the clones. Select the Polygon Center mode. Now the copies are too big. I will reduce the sphere a little. Now we need to remove the top of the clones. For this, we create a plane effector. Remove changes by position and adjust scale. I set it to -1 so that all objects that are in the plane are zero-sized. Go to the Falloff tab and create a cylinder field. Remove the softening of the transition and raise the object higher. This way, we've removed the unnecessary objects of the cloner generator. To add a little variety to our clones, let's add the push apart effector with the scale mode. I'll name it Scale Apart, and choose the appropriate mode. Adjust the radius. Now let's create a leaf, following the same principle as we did for the orange. Create a plane, adjust its size and segmentation. Next, add a subdivision surface generator to round the leaf. Using the FFD deformer, we will customize the shape of the object. And as you remember, for this to work, you need to group them. Adjust the FFD, and in the point editing mode, adjust the shape of the leaf. The next step is to add thickness to the leaf using the cloth surface generator. Place the subdivision surface object in it. In the cloth surface settings, remove subdivisions and add thickness. Add some small fillets using the bevel deformer. Now we see some strange geometry intersections. To fix this, check the Limit checkbox in the bevel deformer. Next, use the band to adjust the bend of the leaf. Now create a cloner. Place a leaf in it and set the radial mode. Adjust the shape of the leaves. Now we need to arrange the clones in checkerboard formation. To do this, add the twist deformer to the base sphere. Apply Fit to parent and rotate the mesh 90 degrees. Excellent! We've created 3 objects using primitives, deformers, and generators. Your homework will be to create a composition from any fruits and berries. The most important thing is that all objects are created using primitives, generators, and deformers. And this lesson is over. See ya!